Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Colleen Meyer with Meyer Men's Consulting. We are bringing you our podcast, Fearless in Pink. And today we have an amazing, amazing woman business owner. It is Christyna Giles Washington. And she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. Christyna?
Oh, hello, and thank you so very much, Dr. Carleen. And hi, everyone out there, all you fearless warriors. My name is Christyna Giles Washington, as stated. I am the owner of Conversations with Christyna. And what I do is I assist people in reaching their highest self, I guess. Is that where we are right now in what I do phase?
So when I love that because I know that you're an amazing woman and you're a woman advocate. And so what else is that? If I was a customer and I would come to you, tell me what services you would offer me.
So my primary is in the financial services world. And so how I do that is most people enter or come to me based on that need, either for financial understanding or literacy or retirement. And the way that Conversations with Christyna was actually born was most of my clients, we never spoke about money. I mean, most people thought, oh, I don't have any money and I'm struggling and this, that, and the other. And after we had a conversation, we realized that, wait a minute, you have a sieve in your back pocket, or wait a minute, you're looking at things so pessimistically from a lens that is, what you don't have instead of what you do have. Or because I used to be in human resources, they couldn't see how their job actually wasn't serving them. So if you just listen to the words that I am using, I'm not talking about money at all. But money usually shows up in the things that we are either desirous of or running from, So that's how Conversations with Christyna started. So if you and I were to have a conversation and you asked, well, Christyna, what is it that you do? I actually am taking you on a mindset journey. That's what I like to say, because realistically, that's what it is. And people that come to me are coming in one door, which is that financial door, but they're leaving in a whole new, I honestly cannot say it's quantifiable. So when I say that I am a financial strategist, I can leave it at that for your understanding. But honestly, it's so much more, so much more.
That's an interesting you say that, because I find, and myself too, so I'm going to throw myself in with all of this. People are afraid of money, setting up for retirement. And what if I need that money now? And it's like you said, it's a mindset to get them to see, thinking long term when it comes to financial success.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have this thing called the core four. And so I always say that first and foremost, we have to agree. If we start off with our agreements, then we can move forward. So either you and I have to agree, or you have to agree with what it is that you are seeking. Then second is being consistent. So it doesn't take a lot to get a lot, right? I mean, compounding interest, if we put away $50 a month, and now I sound really financially, but it's true because these are facts. If we put away $50 a month, over time, compounding interest will help us grow, right? So that's consistency. And then the details of that. There are details that we have to be aware of. I actually say sweat the small stuff. Why? Because pennies and quarters in a jar from a financial perspective do add up. And those are small things that we would kind of overlook and not worry about. So if we are in agreement, we are consistent, we look at the details, then that will help us set our pace. And that pace can be to speed up, or it can be to slow down. Now, if I keep everyone in the cradle of my core four, we are honestly speaking so much more about your life than we are about your money, because your money is the outgrow of the life that you choose to pursue. So that's why it's Conversations with Christyna instead of Christyna's Financial Services.
I think I love that because it creates a safe place for people to go and talk about money. It's not intimidating. We're having a conversation. I'm giving you advice. And I think that's probably why you have so much success in your business.
I thank you for that, because honestly, it wasn't until I agreed with who I am and what I do
Hmm.
that my boat kind of came in. Because honestly, again, should you meet me, you will not know that I am a financial strategist. That is not the thing that you take away. What you typically take away is, oh my goodness, she's so easy to talk to. Oh my goodness. One of my taglines is, one conversation will change your life, because I get that all the time. Everyone says, wait, I never thought, wait, say that again. What did you just say? Because I have the ability to help you develop you,
Hmm.
period. Whether it be your business, whether it be your mind, whether it be weight loss, whatever it is, because we start with you in mind.
Hmm.
We start with, I also say I'm your biggest cheerleader, right? I'm that girlfriend that you call and say, oh my God, I want the shoes so bad. I don't say, no, don't get the shoes, nor do I say, girl, go get the shoes. I say, okay, how can we get the shoes without impacting this? Or do you really want the shoes that bad that you're willing to sacrifice this? Because everything is language. One of my oh, I love her, love mentors says that words are our captors or our liberators. So everything is in how we speak to not only ourselves, but how we speak about situations that are in front of us, right?
Yep. That's true. And I think the way you're presenting it doesn't matter if you're not a six-figure an hour person, you can still be financially savvy and put money away. It's we had it. What you said, touch base with me. You said, all the money in a jar. Do sweat the small stuff. And I remember my husband always puts money in jars, and it was just, your regular size jar, maybe 12 inches high. And I gave it to my daughter. She wanted, to go out. I'm like, yeah, here, take it. It was like $64 in that jar of change. And I'm just thinking, it's a jar of change, like a piggy bank. Here you go. And she went and cashed it in, and it was $64.
Right, right. And, those are the things that we think are old school, right?
Mhm.
Because I love, absolutely love talking to millennials and
Mhm.
Gen Yers and all that. And one of the things that I say now is, I'm not interested in blending in and trying to be you,
Mhm.
because a lot of Gen Xers and Gen Yers, they're being raised by their peers, basically, because, young mom, whatever.
Mhm.
So I would much rather be someone who you can talk to honestly, who's going to say, look, hold up, we're not doing that. You're going to put money away. There's so many different apps and whatnot out there, Acorn, Cash App, blah, 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 blah. So my daughter comes to me and she's like, Mom, my daughter just turned 15 last
Oh,
week,
God
Monday.
bless her. How cute.
Oh yeah, God bless me, not her. She's a handful because she's a brainiac. I mean, oh my God.
Like her mama,
It's not,
Brainiac.
woo, oh. But she said, Mom, I want you to start investing for me because I want to make sure that I have good credit and a lot of money by the time I'm 18. So I fell out laughing because I'm like, okay, I mean, I like it. But what I told her is, I said, hey, if you go, this is what I tell some of my clients, because you just said that you don't have to have a lot of money. And you're absolutely right. Because again, for me, it's all a mindset.
Right.
We are wealthy. We start from a wealthy place. But what I shared with my daughter was, go to your Cash App, and all of you can do this. Go to your Cash App and just look on the side where you can actually play a little stock. Okay.
Yeah.
You can play stock. You can put $20 in on my GE account because I want to do what I ask people to try.
Right.
So on my GE account, I actually earned a $2 dividend. Well, hello, that makes it real because when we
Yeah.
think about stocks and bonds and mutual funds and all that type of stuff, sometimes we take ourselves out of the frame
Yep.
because we think, oh, I don't have enough money or whatnot. Having an Acorn account or Cash App or whatever puts you in the frame where you can actually go out and invest. So here it is, my 15-year-old. She goes and I tell her, hey, pick the things that you like because you're
Mhm.
only putting in $20, which means that you're micro sharing. You're not
Mhm.
taking a full share of that stock. You're just taking a micro share. But again, you're receiving something back because
Mhm.
they do pay on it. So that goes back to what I said. It's all a mindset.
Mindset. I just pulled up the Cash App and I wanted to show. Oh, I'm at my screen there.
Let's
That's
go right
that's
there.
where you're.
Stay right there.
That's where they can go in there and invest.
Exactly right. And if you don't have Cash App, go ahead and grab that and link it. I am the queen of conspiracy. I'll be perfectly honest. So I was so anti all of the online, on your phone. Oh, everything's connected. But, it is a good way to set a budget. It is a good way to manage your funds. It's a good way to set goals. And financial goals in my world are the cornerstone. That's where we start, right? On that financial mindset side.
Yep.
But realistically, what I want to know is what is it that you want? Because so particularly now
Mhm.
in this pandemic world, how many businesses have developed because of necessity,
Yeah,
not because of money, right?
that's right.
I mean, people had zero and went in their kitchen and started with what they had.
Hmm.
And once we like level the playing field, and I don't mean the external or exterior playing field, I mean the playing field of the mind.
Hmm.
If we just level the playing field and start with those words of I can,
I love that.
add I will, then add I must,
Hmm.
that settles us right here, right between the ears. I can, I will, I must.
I love that. I think that's a great way of looking at it when it comes to your financial security in the future. And I think it's great, Christina, that you're teaching your daughter and that she's willing to step out there at 15 years old. It's important, I think, that we teach this new generation about money and savings because, as Americans are in debt. Credit cards and whatever it is that people are in debt with, mostly credit cards. You can have credit cards 20, 30, 40,000, and you got to pay that. And most people you're looking at, can you even pay that off ever? If it's that high, unless you refinance your house or something. But it's that younger generation that we want to say, hey, this is what you need to know about as an adult.
You're absolutely right. One of the things that I say when I speak is, and since your audience are female, and
Mhm.
I love women, I
Yes,
love us. We are amazing.
we
I
are.
love men too, but I love us. We are just amazing. I often say that, our physical attractiveness is our currency, right?
Right.
And so a lot of us want a nice bus line. So I tease and I say, these are the things that we want. We want to have a nice bus line, but we
Yeah.
don't want to have, in the financial way of speaking, the double D.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tongue in cheek. But the double D is death and divorce. Those are the two things that erode our wealth as women so quickly. And I can speak from experience on the divorce side,
Mhm.
having had to pay my former husband a substantial amount of money. Okay.
Mm.
So death and divorce along with debt. So those 3 Ds are what erodes. And that's why I say if we start from the mind, then we can attack anything. There are many, many, many people out there that are helping you with budgets, that are helping you with, planning and all of that. And I actually refer clients to them
Mm.
because I have absolutely no interest in managing portfolios or any of that. While that is highly lucrative, I'm looking for the human impact.
Mhm.
My clients come back to me and that's how I've pivoted into conversations with Christyna
Mhm.
from a coaching perspective, from a mentoring perspective, from a lifestyle walking perspective, because it's all right here.
It
If
is.
we can manage a portfolio and give you good returns, that's great. But if you're continuing with the same habits that you had before, it's terrible. So,
So
so imagine you you have those bad habits and one of the triple D's hit you. And let's just say it's divorce, because that seems to be very common right
I
now.
think it's 50% in the United States.
Well,
50%, right?
I think the pandemic has increased that number.
Wow, that's
Okay.
amazing.
So we're just going to do a real quick mind exercise, right?
Mhm.
So you have had these really poor spending habits. And now we can even add a fourth D, which is depression. Because as women, what we do to soothe ourselves is we adorn ourselves. We want to look good. We want to be attractive. So in this pandemic world, we now have that fourth D, depression, with bad spending habits,
Mm.
a debit or credit card, and Amazon.
Oh my God, I was just thinking
Hello.
that. I was just thinking that Amazon makes it so easy to spend,
Hello.
especially during the pandemic, because everybody's at home on their computers.
There you go. So think about, where is that circle ending? It really doesn't, because you were started on that fourth D with depression.
Hmm.
You have your card with you, whichever one it is,
Hmm.
and you have an Amazon account, and you spend to soothe, and then you feel depressed about what you did, and you have the Amazon account and you have the card, and then you feel depressed about what you did, and it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so that's why for me, it's all in the mind. It's all in the what's driving you. Some nutritionists say what's eating you, right?
Mm.
But it's like what's driving you. And for me, having these conversations are like pivotal. The while I say that the foundation is the financial,
Hmm.
that's that's kind of like an outlier
Mm.
of a foundation. The truth is, who are you? Who do you want to be? Where are you going? And how can I help you get there?
Mm.
That's the truth.
That's
So
amazing.
I love what I do.
I know, I could tell. That's great, because you're helping people. And here's the thing about what you do. When you're talking to people about changing the mindset, whether they're 15 or 50, what's happening is you're not only changing, if we can get those people to see it differently, you're not just changing that person's life, but you're changing their kids or future kids, and generations down the line is being changed because one person said, you know what, I'm going to change my mindset when it
You
comes
are
to
absolutely
money.
right. You are absolutely right. And one of the things in my brochure is I say that you have the power to make positive choices that will lift you above the ordinary and commonplaces. And again, one of the things that I have learned is making self-honoring choices. And as women, We sometimes suffer from that mommy guilt or that caretaker guilt. But when you make a self-honoring choice, that means that you're putting yourself first in the frame. And I remember in marital counseling, they would say things like, if mom's not happy, the whole house is not happy. Well, let's take that and let's go with it,
Mhm.
because we're all women. We're having a beautiful conversation. So let me tell it to you straight. Honey, if you're not happy, no one around you will be happy.
Mhm.
And it is okay to give yourself permission to be happy. And when I say permission to be happy, happiness is what you make it. Happiness is not what they tell you in the magazine, on television, on the podcast.
Mhm.
Happiness is within. Happiness is you. So it's really, really, really important that, again, everything that I speak goes back to the mind.
The mindset. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you, so they're like, she is amazing, I want to change my mindset, what is the best way for them to contact you and get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can reach me via email, which is excuse me, what is my email? It's Christyna. My name is ChristynagWash at gmail.com. Or you can go to my website, which is convo, CONVO, with C.com. And you can call me. I mean, I have to say, I am a woman of a certain age who still enjoys a good conversation on the phone. Okay. So if you want to reach out and call, you can reach me at 310-738-7689. But I welcome it all. If you have a question simply about, like for me, I have active children,
Mhm.
and you're trying to make decisions on how do Christyna, you said, put yourself first. How can I put myself first when I'm carting my kids to and fro? Again, I have an answer for that because I've
Mhm.
been there, done that. Been
You
there,
know,
done that.
one final question I want to run by you. So let's talk to Christina when she first started. Go back to when you first decided, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. What was one thing you would change about what the process looked like? You can share with our audience. Was there any
Wow,
hurdle?
wow, wow, wow. Um, I believe the one thing that I would change is I would have been more fearless.
That's
Um,
good.
you know, your tag is "We are fearless in pink," and I wore my pink and I wore my gold. And I tell you, the reason I say I would have been more fearless, and I say this with a lot of passion, ladies, because I'm going to be so real. I'm going to ask you, if you closed your eyes and you just listened to my voice, you would not know what color I am. That's one. Two, I stand about 6'3" in my heels. So when I would walk into rooms, not only was I very tall, but I am who I am. I'm a statuesque person. The confidence level was a little in conflict.
Mhm.
So when I say I would have been more fearless, I promise you, I could be probably 10 years ahead of where I am now. But I was so concerned with what others thought of me and the labels that they were assigning to me that I slowed my pace. And if you remember, that actually is why I have my core four: the agreements, the consistency, the details, and the pace,
Mhm.
because I had to agree that I'm a badass, okay?
I love it.
I mean, I had to agree with myself that I am here, I'm ready, I'm able, and I'm going to do it. Then I had to be consistent in that thought all the time.
Mhm.
Because, these thoughts, they come and then they go, and they come and then they go. And those things, I think, if I were to go back, I'd be way more fearless, because it's so much easier to fall forward, ladies,
That's
than it is to fall backwards. Okay.
I love that. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for being on our podcast. I think it was amazing. You gave amazing advice. And we're going to be posting your information for our listeners and can get a hold of you if that's what they want to do, because I think it's a smart thing to reach out to you and, work on changing the financial mindset. So thank you so much, Christyna.
Thank you, Dr. Colleen.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.